Somebody just lift up your hands up to the Most High and begin to worship Him. Somebody just lift up your hands up to the Most High and begin to worship Him. Make a joyful noise unto the Lord and give Him praise. When morning comes, darkness turns to light, you would there before me. You know everything. When I fall many times, my heart driven away, forgive me. The love and care you show to me every day has so much. Oh, you are my ruler, you are my God, strong believer and friend. You are my Savior.
Good morning, welcome to the Epic Morning Show that comes to you live here on Epic Radio 99.3 FM. Today is Wednesday, December 13th, 2023. And Mina Mohammed Jawad, don't forget we are live on radio, live online as well. And this morning on the show, we'll discuss the fresh updates on November 26 attacks. New faces have been added to the list, new arrests have been made. More weapons have been discovered. This and so many more updates regarding the November 26 attacks as we now know them. But first things first, let's start with a morning message of motivation. We now rise. How do you beat temptation? That's a very important question. How do you overcome temptation? Because sometimes temptation, they stare you in the face, and we all get this very, very common excuse when we give into temptation by saying, oh, it's the work of the devil, and so I just had to give in. And it's a very common excuse for everybody we give into temptation. But the thing very difficult for a lot of people admit is that it's not just the work of the devil. You say if you hand inside, you contribute in a way. And so sometimes one of the ways for beat temptation now for identify what can I do really to prevent it in the first place. So this morning I'm going to give you some few tips. I'll give you some few tips about what you can do to avoid temptation as a whole. So first thing we for do, you need to avoid situation them where go tempt you, we go put you in a place that you will be tempted to do something. We go put you in a place maybe for cheat, maybe for thief, or do anything wrong no more where you know say okay, this is bad. So not put yourself in a position in the first place that you will be tempted. That's the first rule that you should always keep in your mind. Avoid people or most likely situations that will tempt you. That's very important. People or situations them way definitely if you deal around these people, or definitely if you are caught up in that situation, you will definitely be tempted. You have to avoid it, because a lot of the time temptation itself not just the jump and spring and come in your face. Sometimes we see it coming as people, we notice it, we get the signs them. So before you get into that situation day, or you get together with that person day, always try for identify, and when you see it coming, try to avoid it entirely. And sometimes as well, the third thing I will also tell you is that every time we think about temptation, when you are tempted to do something, let's say you are tempted to steal money, the first thing within can you mind, if I thief this money, oh, I will invest in this, I will buy this, I will buy this. But the thing we really for can you mind, way for prevent you from taking that money we not to you own. Now the consequence if they catch you, now the consequence if people know, now you for think and I for really make you afraid, then you know go commit waiting you about for commit. And this apply to every other temptation scenario. Always think about the consequence rather than the gratification where you will get if you indulge yourself in that temptation day. So these are some of the tips, and perhaps most importantly, pray. So when in the Lord's Prayer, for example, you say, and lead us not into temptation, it's not just a line. It's for make you avoid all those situations on a daily basis. Or if you're a Muslim, when would it start? And you say, Ihdina Siratal Mustaqim, God puts you on the right path. That right path as well indirectly also means, say, the path of temptation, let it be far away from us. So most importantly, pray about it. So sometimes you are confronted with a situation, and then you really know, say, this is a very, very tempting temptation. Temptations are always like that. Sometimes they can be tricky, sometimes they are dangerous, sometimes they're absolutely sweet. We indulge in them. But like I say, the golden rule is pray. Another time as well, avoid the situation entirely, or avoid the person entirely, or you also make sure you spot it from afar and avoid them. Avoid the situations where you can be tempted, and always think about the consequence rather than the gratification we will get. So these are the golden rules. Add your own rules to this, and really try for beat temptation every time you face it.
Temptation, Papa, the world is full of temptation. We take it, temptation, Mama, the world is full of temptation. We take it, temptation, brother, the world is full of temptation. We take it, temptation, sister, the world is full of temptation. Let me take it, let me take it, waiting we dey do not this one. Let me know for say, the world is full of evil. Mama, they beg you. I want you be from bad head friends. But I see on me, they smoke before you face. Ain't not good. Always for the call them and talk to them. Put on the right way. Cause you see this world today. It's full of people. Temptation, Papa. The world is full of temptation. Let me take it. Temptation, Mama. The world is full of temptation.
Cowbell powder milk now they carry tasty creamy goodness for your breakfast and snacking moments. With any packet of cowbell milk powder you add to your food, you they give your body a creamy goodness blend of vitamin A, C, D, E, and K for general well-being, and vitamin B9 for healthy brain development. Cowbell milk powder now with creamy goodness. Now quality milk powder we recommend for you and your loved ones during breakfast and snacking moments every day. They also get the 3-in-1 cowbell coffee, cowbell choco, and your favorite cowbell strawberry. Buy and enjoy the new creamy goodness of cowbell every day from all provision shops nationwide. For wholesale, visit the office now 51 Fube Road, Freetown, or call us on 077 250025 or 099 250025. Cowbell powdered milk, the perfect companion at breakfast and snack times. Cowbell, a creamy goodness.
So this one will focus on the latest updates about the November 26th attack, the new phases on the wanted list. And like I say, I mean, every time there's a fresh update, we're very significant. We bring them come to you because it's very important. So we're all going to keep track of what's going on. We now know, say, up to 80 suspects have been arrested in connection with the alleged coup. And of course, the phases of the most wanted have been updated. And the most high-profile face on that list now involve the former president, Anis Kroma and Gyal Pikin. In face also, they on the list of those way police now want. So, of those 80 people who have been questioned in connection with all of this, you get 50 current serving military officers, 5 dismissed military officers, 7 serving personnel of the Sierra Leone police, 1 retired senior personnel police officer, 15 civilians, 1 correctional service personnel, and of course, like I mentioned, You get yes. So these are some of the people. Now police as well in the updates that then 7 people and the winners serving police officers have all been dismissed and a criminal proceeding have been instituted, as it will be for all of those who are found wanting. And so that's one of the major updates and major highlights of all of that as well. We will be talking about that extensively this morning. More weapons have also been recovered. We will tell you exactly how much according to waiting officials then they say, but we all feel safer now. As we discuss all of this as well, we'll dig into a paper really where you are just recently exploring the root cause of all of this, highlighting the role of violence entrepreneurs in the face of all of the uncertainties there, possibly some of these reasons as well that might have led to this. But still to me, so when we come next, it's 7:40 from our studio clock. We'll have Andrew Lavalley here in the studio with us and Imran Tilla from the government of Sierra Leone for discuss these very, very important issues. We also have a lot more on we plate in the second half of the show, because University of Sierra Leone staff them, they also don't suspend, then strike action with them the plan.
Yes, this is how they dress for selling breasts. Wear shorts, caps, we should say they're not the best.
All right. Welcome. If you just joined me, 7:41 from Studio Clock. Good morning, Sir Imran.
Yeah, good morning. From on morning.
So what do we know this week that will not be known last week about the November 26 attacks?
Well, we a lot the change, because not forget say the investigations are very fluid and ongoing, and so that means as you see or in your intro you talk about the list, right? A lot more people that don't be added onto them. The last time we then put that list now, though I think it'll be about 30 people been dead and also. Now it is more than 30, even though 1, 2, 3 of them they were police through intelligence. They will forget them, but a lot more people, because you know then they interrogate and question the people that would already don't get, you know. And as the IGB said yesterday in our press conference, then we don't talk to you, give you initial statement, and then talk to other people. For some reason, other people, you know, mention certain things they will get for do that person, so they would have to come back now to some people and do further interrogation and further question and take further statements from them. So there's a lot that is going on. But what is clear now, the fact that all of the one there with the security sector through the police they try for do now for make sure so they get an aggregate of all of their statements, and then they will now take on to the AG's office, and also because ultimately the Attorney General for on behalf of the states now they will get for make them the necessary and appropriate charges and for take them people and they go forward.
There was also an update on the recovery of some weapons as well.
Absolutely.
Something we all don't look forward to really. But does that give us first we tell you the volume of guns they would all recover, but and whether that will give you enough confidence for feel safe about the volume of guns we still they out there on scene.
I remember say the last hour, Kaya, that's not been part of the conversation with me and you to get. And you be, well, which thing would be the right word for you? You be anxious that, you know, police know they talk nothing but then guns and on the ammunition their way, then thief now, military 34 and all that. But then I say to you, I say, look, they may not have given us, not mean say they're not actively right? They try for take stock and do them internal arrangements, and they foresee waiting don't go, waiting in the install, waiting don't go, and how they can able for recover them. And thankfully, yesterday, and one of the things that the Inspector General touched on. So, it's a 47 AK-47s, not the enemy thief. 29 of the AK-47 and they recover them. 18 still outstanding. Yeah, so means that they don't. If you talk about percentage terms, they don't recover more than within they out already because 18 or more now they out were outstanding. The RPG them, they say now 7 RPG then enemy thief. 5 they recover, now 2 still outstanding. Also 100 empty magazines were stolen, and then they're still there. So the one and they talk about like empty magazines, then okay, any shells, no, so nothing that would already be done dispose of. So it, I mean, the one and they don't able to recover it. But waiting supposed for good comfort, now the one that, now the fact that the one them we life threatening in terms of the AK-47s and the RPG, particularly for the RPG. Out of 7 they don't recover 5, 2 outstanding. Then in a tremendous effort and intelligence coordination, now don't lead to them kind of thing and it shows that the police and the security sector, you know, they're still alive and active and a lot of things, and they're still very fluid.
Yeah, but it will worry we that we still get a huge volume of AK-47 and we're still out there and yet to be recovered. So
if even it can't down to now one number don't left where they not see it, obviously then they go supposed to be cause for concern. Right, from when ordinary citizens we know one day land for use then and it will be a concern to us. Even for the one that say, oh Lanam, you know, because you know how deadly it can be. But I think say a lot of security measures are in place. A lot of internal reviews and internal arrangements don't be looked at. Now that makes, so for example, if you travel now from applying for Canton, there are a lot of roadblocks. Even Natongia, so now you see a lot of checks them across the city. But that's not the one that were visible. What within me you two know they see we don't lead to then 29 AK-47 there where they recover and the 5 RPG there where they recover. Now the one there where you know they see, right, in broad daylight, we actively the ground, they source the information there, they try for seal side information, they lead them to side intelligence, they lead them to and recover them. I think that is very active. From meeting Inspector General talk yesterday and from me on conversations with plenty of people in the security sector, look, it is very active. The one for make sure say them pursue every single one pound outstanding AK-47s, they are the balance 2 RPG, the whole left for even the empty magazines, and they for make sure say they're all fully recovered and brought back.
And speaking about that and the fugitive them where they out there, we have fugitives where they out there, we get military training, we get combat training basically. If then they in possession of them guns there, it could be dangerous. So how far are we with tracking those fugitives we don't put out there?
So, I mean, again, you see the list has been updated. As I say earlier, not simply because of the fact that based on the interrogations of the number of people, you know, I mean, the Inspector General say 80 suspects in custody, not so? 50 are serving military officers, 5 are dismissed military officers, 7 are serving police officers, 1 senior retired police officer, 15 civilians, 1 correctional service officer, you know, and plus the former president, Dr. Ernest Bai Kroma. Now, what it means is a lot of interrogation, and the Inspector General give you the layers of interrogations where they happen right now. I think get various categories as they segment them so that they able to go through them thoroughly with depth and detail, right? And able to corroborate all of the one and they. Now that make it say in some of the interrogations, then they don't, for one person they don't do and pass 1 term, so they don't do and 2, 3 term, because as the interrogation and they go, right, then they take their statements, then they it comes back to some of them and they would have to come back to you for can't wait and call. And so that one they also they show say even for the one that we not get yet, we not come into police custody yet. The reason we make they don't add and review that list there. Now based on the intelligence and the information where they exist in one them of 80 already don't give, right? All intelligence gathered from outside where they point to them people and then they make they don't revise, right, and publish new list. So look, I know this for a fact. I don't get personal conversations with the Inspector General. It don't commit himself and the security sector fully that every single one panel one they are where the names that they don't publish who wanted by the security sector, by the police, in relation to the attempted coup on the 26th of November, could eventually be brought, right, for let them come, interrogate them and answer.
So whilst the investigation they continue and then people are being arrested, some are being questioned at the time, I don't know what's in the clear government in clear strategy. Are we going to wait until we catch everybody before we start the criminal trial or the criminal charges, or we go to do them as they go? Because at some point, right now, everybody patient with government, but all of this goodwill could go into frustration the longer this all takes.
Well, I mean, I would probably question whether you talk about goodwill. I mean, it's not goodwill. It's about good conscience. We commitment as citizens of this republic for make sure say we stay safe. That's the overriding ambition for every single one per week. But I mean, to your point as to whether they go wait until they don't catch everybody else who then they look for before they're in charge. You know, me not a lawyer. I don't know the tons of evidence we'd already get in their possession. But I know for a fact now that all of within the security sector, the police, they do in terms of interrogations, in terms of statements, and all of them thing in there. That night conversation where they'll get with the AG's office as to what is available, right? How much information we get, how much intelligence we get, how much statement we get within now the substance of for charge anybody, right? So I don't think it's necessarily connected to waiting until everybody don't come, right? But that I think say based on the evidence, ultimately, right? That X, Y, Z will get sufficient now on them for before coming time to trial.
Good morning, Mr. Lavalley. When I just do a paper where it try for dig deep into some of the factors that might have led to this, and one very interesting terminology in that paper where I read violence entrepreneurs, we want to say they make use of the opportunity for fuel all of this. Tell me a bit about the trust of that work that I just published on this.
Thank you very much. You know, where this thing happened, broke Pademba Road, you know, overrun the armory. A lot of, you know, the people are not talk to we. And, well, thank God they not talk because it's a big tick, maybe like Epic Radio. So they've, you know, announced a different story altogether. But the reality is they not talk. But because of that silence, then being left a lot of, you know, unexplained thing then. So we begin, people and begin guess. No, some people and say, no, this is why now the election way be happy where people are not satisfied with. In fact, the coup the way they take place across the country, across the continent. In fact, we study about 6 coups with Sierra Leone being 7 inside this paper. They say that in fact, I don't make this to happen as alone. Some people say, no, now the polarization, the division with it. And some people they're not satisfied with that division, they make this pet bill. And some people then say back, no, now since the election, the change of government in 2018, some people may not be just satisfied with the change of government. So because of that, in fact, they term them anti-democratic forces. So this thing will happen not to just an isolated incident, it's a wave of things that have been only happened since 2018. All of them views and they're correct, but we'd say they are superficial. And because of that, we have to dig deep. But you know, somebody, Schiffman, look into something we call the economics of violence. That means you get for look at, for let you understand the economics of violence, for let you understand violence, like the one that now way they respond. I hear Imran, they talk about the justice system, you get the police, you get the security sector, even international partners them. Schiffman, they argue, say, because politics, violence is so localized, now not so Liberia, they fight against Sierra Leone, or Guinea, they fight against Sierra Leone. The enemy is actually there within ourselves and we fight each other. So the response get for be different. So the one day when I respond as them, you get for make them get the right information, the right tools. So now make we talk, say, okay, let's get one step further. Let's analyze back. The one day when them be killed, the one day when they inside the police net, what is common about them? What are the background checks? Sometimes if we find all those background checks, we will begin for understand what are the motivations behind this thing here. So you see, say then two paradigms they will be explained. They fall within Paul Collier called greed and grievance. Paul Collier in the argue say, now greed and grievance then they normally lead to war. In fact, something in the now the grievance then it end up with greed. But here we find out say they exploited the grievance. So greedy people actually exploited the grievance. So yes, the BBC was right. Maini Jones was saying, yes, there is hardship, and people are aggrieved by the hardship. They want to let it change, and so would I say they'd be right for letting talk, but Sarah I be right for letting talk. Say no, there is polarization, and for the past since Tijan Kaba left power, depending on who side you did, which region you did, we one regime they feel say you are not part of it. So it is exploited. So all of these things, everyone audio just now we come out and say come out abroad. Where some people they talk say, "On our way to get for attack." All of these things are exploited by people. So we do background checks. We see say there are three things where they run parallel. Where they run across all of them. One, they are not part of the military. All of them under the background checks. The one they wait and hold. The one they wait and kill, like for example, leather boots. So they get military background, but are not part of the military. Number two, and when are the most important, they are not part of the political party. You know, talk say this now a political party now really orchestrate this because there is this view. Some people they say no, this is APC now in the fact. In fact, some people in they say no, this is not Mother Bill. Now in Bengo state manages thing for like for people fall on people and no more. So in the midst of them deep mistrust them, you actually need for fine evidence for like feeling anything. So we come up with the term violence entrepreneurs. In fact, we borrow them from one Russian writer with Valdin. Valdin used the word violent entrepreneurs. In fact, they say that they make the Russian economy grow. What do you mean? These are people who they're in government, these are people who get businesses, and now they make the Russian capitalism grow. So now that violence, where they be brutal, now they make them amass huge capital where the Russian capitalism grow. But in that case, the state, now they promote violence. In New York case now, all of them people here, they are not part of the state. They are not part of any establishment. In fact, we'll do background checks. We realize, say, most of them even fly in. And so November 26 was not just sheer coincidence. It's really happened in the way we coordinated. So we call them violence entrepreneurs because then they actually sell violence. Then they trade violence. Who buys it? I don't know. And the good news, Jawadwago reports very quickly. I think, say, all what happened on November 26, we owe unto Freetown. The people of Freetown, we predominantly vote against President Bio and the SLPP. They say, no, we don't want this. Then cajole and say, we can't join we. They say, no, we don't want this. And now this make way as government they prosecute this thing. If we know say this is non-political, this is non-ethnic, because the one that even with them catch that guy where they call APC police, APC sheriff, who watch background checks of the one they will see at the video, they are like the Northerners. They get Northern background. So Sierra Leone, and this really is in perfect conformity with Afrobarometer, they always say that 90% of Sierra Leoneans they believe say the only way for change governments now through elections. So we might have all of them differences then, but not only through elections and open, free and fair elections, where even APC committed to. And then they will talk, say, no, APC, they are not part of this. Just yesterday, 2 days ago, the elites then, now McKinney, they actually come together, they talk, say, they issue a release. I don't know if you've seen the release. Yeah. Where they say, no, we are not part of this. We condemn it. We see the mayor of McKinney's signature, the district council chairman of Bombali district, and other key stakeholders. They say, we are not part of this. And so that the appetite for peace and democracy is really high in Sierra Leone.
And Imran, when all of this is done, when the dust therefore settle, governments need for able to deal with that polarization there, because this paper, one of the things that they expose now that you have people where they trade on their division and they amplify them and they fear dissent as well for the state and create these problems. And so how much governments really get for do as well for unify the country itself behind the president's vision or the government's vision?
So, I mean, again, I think so. We need for go back. And this is not because it is not partisan in any way. There was a reason why President Julius Maada Bio being called Bintumani 3. Nabin for initiating and gender a conversation around national cohesion, around peace, around, dialogue and communication between everybody, right, and stakeholders and people that will come up from political parties. There's a reason why President Biobi also set up the Peace and Cohesion Commission. In fact, interestingly enough, that was one of the recommendations of the TRC. Yeah? So you find out, say, in the 3 days dialogue, the Peace and Cohesion Commission was the basis, was the rock, and also for then conversations, and they will lead to the recommendations, where both on behalf of government and political party, then puts their signature to them and say, this is a working document, this is a document we can trust. Now, I think President Bio always concerned, right, about the peace and stability of this country and how we can both come together. But then I also think, say, and that is why now you get information and civic education, right? You also get NACID, where they do tremendous work. Go out and, about immediately after the coup, we see ex-servicemen them. And also, we partner with NACID. They go out and they go talk to other ex-servicemen them, right, about their civic duties and civic responsibilities, let them stay away from trouble. Then we get a few engagements, and I think the engagements and they're still ongoing as at the talk. But more broadly, I think we all get a responsibility. Andrew just talk about the stakeholders then at Makeni, Bombali district, right? And then commitment to democracy, to peace, to stability. We're also heartened by the fact that even at Parliament, we hear both sides of the aisle. SLPP and APC, not the leader, and also Honorable Ekeke. Immediately after the 26th of November, after this coup, I think it was on a Tuesday, we then go to Parliament. Ekeke condemn completely and distance and dissociate in party and in members from all of which that happened. Say, no, it does not reflect, neither represent within the APC stand for. And I think, say, both parties agree and pull out a statement, not so, right now the well of Parliament. So we all have a role to play. Yes, people in the way want for use this polarization or party politics as a means to an end for greedy and selfish reasons, some of which, and we already just don't talk about. But that does not, reflect the character and the spirit of Sierra Leoneans, because you see what happen. Also, when it comes to crunch time in Western area, I say, no. Right. We might have all disagreement, we might have all our issues, but this route, no, we're not going down this route. And I think it says a lot, right, as to which Sierra Leoneans they really want. We want peace, we want stability, we want democracy. No matter the issues we go come, we go as a result of any election, we still want democracy, right? We have tried it in 1996, and we want to continue for keeper. It's an experience, I think, say, with every Sierra Leonean satisfied with, and that should be the spirit going forward. All right.
Stay with me. This is the Epic Morning Show. We'll be right back.
Do you want to be your own boss? Or do you want to add more services to your business? Then look no further, because BNB is here for you.
What do you mean?
With BNB, you can now make money with just your smartphone. With the new revolutionary app, BNB POS, you can do remittance, bill payments, enter airtime top-up, and many more. All this from your smartphone anywhere you want.
This sounds great.
That is not just all. The app also features real-time agent rebalancing and reconciliation.
Oh wow! But how can I get the BNB POS and start making my own money?
It's so simple. You can download the application on App Store or Google Play Store. Just search for BNB POS and download. Then call our customer service on 072 500 000, and within a short period of time, our agent will help you for the onboarding process.
Wow, no time to waste. Let me do this right away.
Oh yes, start making money today from anywhere in Sierra Leone. For more inquiries, contact our customer service on 072 500 000.
With BNB POS, you shop na your pocket.
now they carry tasty creamy goodness for your breakfast and snacking moments. With any packet of cowbell milk powder you add to your food, you they give your body a creamy goodness blend of vitamin A, C, D, E, and K for general well-being and vitamin B9 for healthy brain development. Cowbell milk powder now with creamy goodness. Now quality milk powder we recommend for you and your loved ones during breakfast and snacking moments every day. They also get the 3-in-1 cowbell coffee, cowbell choco, and your favorite cowbell strawberry. Buy and enjoy the new creamy goodness of cowbell every day from all provision shops nationwide. For wholesale, visit the office at 51 Frobe Road, Freetown, or call us on 077-250025 or 099-250025. Cowbell powdered milk, the perfect companion at breakfast and snack times. Cowbell, a creamy goodness.
Yana Orange, we busy but we customizing freedom. Now we glad for bring to you we new and sober offer. You inside this we one in town offer, you get the rights for pick the voice or data bundle where fits your lifestyle. Yes, now so it be. We dey make communication winner for you wondering. It no matter if you not posting we like long talk or posting we like for browse boku. You there for you. Pan tap all this, you get to run number SMS where you know they pay for. We don't add the match jipa this gladdy. You mean say better thing day for all man. Ladida they are for you. Dial *889# for begin.
Orange.
Alright, welcome back. This is the Epic Morning Show 805 from City O'Clock here, and we continue with conversation on a number of issues them regarding November 26th attack as we now know them, and speaking about all of the updates them where they come through. How much popular support as well government they enjoy with the opposition in digging through all of this, because I know say the former chairman is one of those people who are going through questioning at the moment in the person of former president Anes Nkrumah.
So one of the things that we don't state right from the outset now the fact that this has nothing to do with politics, yeah, and so one for keep her away from Nandi. And even which ended up happening after the 26th, the condemnation from both political parties and, from stakeholders, them right across, shows it has nothing, right? Appetite, no, no political party, no, they will get appetite for begin day, make kukujumuju pan this one. Roundly, don't condemn them and distance themselves from them. So, former President Anes Nkrumah, as we yesterday from the Inspector General of Police, has been treated as a suspect, yeah, full stop. As a suspect and somebody in the eyes and the minds of the security sector, that it gets something for do with the events of the 26th of November, and hence the reason why they invite him for come and they go through questioning right now and they can take statement from him. Sierra Leoneans need for understand say this is about protecting we democracy. Yeah, it is about constitutional order. It's about the rule of law. In the absence of all of them one and day, now anarchy go in this country. So where people they pass it on that day of the 26th, say, hey, una come on do we left for buy rest 1 million. I mean, how can? So for example, you take one pound individuals then Equator. You're doing background check. This was a bouncer, not the UK security. For all intents and purposes, now in the Tidona, the nightclub, they check people and blah, blah, blah. How can such an individual get the answer for not for buy rest 1 million? Which level of understanding you get about economics and all of that for encourage you say, oh, Canada will not buy rest for 1 million again in this country? It is never going to happen. Never. I hope you understand they do not have the know-how, the knowledge, the expertise, the understanding for deal with anything relating to anything for the economy. So my point is this: constitutional order, democracy, no matter the differences, right, is the way forward in this country. And political parties them already don't show them commitment, and therefore then go allow the process for unfold and continue. The IG say yesterday that I think of all the interrogations then they'd already turned over some to the Attorney General. So the Attorney General office go deep and sieve through all of them statements then they and witty available to them as to how to make the necessary charges. And nobody, His Excellency the President has been quite clear in two address to the nation. Immediately after which happened on the 26th of November, and subsequently in second interview, in second address to the nation after, he quite clearly don't say this interrogation, this investigation, no matter how high and mighty you are and you be, if the law require you, you would come to the law and can answer for what happened on the 26th. This is a matter of law and order, full stop. Nothing above Dande and nothing beyond Dande. We have no interest in anything outside Dande. We know say they kill soldier man in this country, right? May their souls rest in perfect peace. We stand up in defense of our democracy. And it was not about President Julius Maada Bio. It was not about his government. Their officers then they stand up in defense of our democracy, of the rule of law, of constitutional order. Because, you know, that was what they took an oath to protect and uphold and keep. And they chose to do it on that day. If they went and they don't lost their life, those responsible for their actions on the 26th of November definitely go face the full force of the law.
And when things like this happen, I mean, no matter how we struggle for day on the path of democracy, you are going to have radical elements within government, for example, going to call for much more stringent measures. I've read elements within government or supporters of government now even calling for the reintroduction of the death penalty, for example. So in a way, it forced the government as well for take some backslide a bit maybe on democracy for protect itself.
I think that this time our government get to be very careful. So you see where this thing happened, all the right to paper, in fact, there is one section we'll put where we say, let this not be like how the Commission of Inquiry been be. Where a lot of people in feel say APC is on trial. So you get people within they in government, within serve under APC, they're not there in the Commission of Inquiry. So waiting people in the watch, because we all peace threatened. APC peace threatened, SLPP peace threatened. The reason why people are talk say with the back government, not that because they elect SLPP, but it's because they love their peace and security. That's why they talk say we are supporting you to do this. So you get for handle that kind capital there with care. The reason why we do this, because by the more you see say it's being pursued and prosecuted as it is now an APC affair, APC versus SLPP, we go actually lost the whole essence of investigating violence entrepreneurs. When you watch what happened on January 6, 2021, in the US, where they attacked the Capitol in front of Trump in rally, where people in the prosecute, then they go prosecute, say, no, this is why now Republican they prosecute. They say, no, then why this particular person here, he go inside the speaker office, he go damage the speaker in furniture, he go do this na the Capitol. In fact, because of that, the people then go jail. So Sierra Leoneans will begin for no say, some of them people here might be part of a political party. So they can be registered as a political party. It doesn't really matter. But let all man account for waiting happen. Even if that person, now somebody will vex by SLPP, say, I go do this, then see him as an individual account. So if fine for let we know, like witness of the backgrounds that we'll find out, we actually arrive at this thing for say, it's a violence entrepreneur. When are the incentives? Say, for example, if you take somebody like Leather Boots. Since 1992, Leather Boots was involved in the 1992 coup. And after that coup, he served to the Undersecretary for Mines, and he was part of the illegal diamond trade at that time. Fast forward, in 5 years on, in 1997, he was part of the AFRC coup. We overthrew Tijan Kaba. That coup was known for boku human rights abuses around the world. Fast forward, we then introduced, Ekomog pulled AFRC in 1999, he left. He only came back, we only see him in 2007 as a bodyguard of the then candidate Ernest Bai Koroma. In fact, the way he relaunched himself, he relaunched himself with a violent attack on Tom Newman in a hotel in Bo. Then, after that, you see 2 years on again, in 2009, on the 13th of March, on the 16th of March 2009, he was named again in the Bakoli Thompson Commission for crimes and the SLPP party office. So this no care for do with APC. So you know, talk say this, are they do this in the name of a party? Are they do this? You know, one thing we actually need to give credit to APC, because had their party been part of this and organized this and execute them, it will have been a different story, because they have the numbers in Freetown. So if fine for law no say, democratic trust has to be built on two sides. You have them people here way, then they actually hamburg with democracy. The two parties they need for come together. For say, they want they know for undermine with democracy, let's deal with them. So now that one, so they really encourage government, you got to get a fine line how they deal with this, and make sure say you no political party, no region is involved in this. Of course, yes, because of we don't preach ethnicity so much, it could be say the one day they will get huge appetite for them, I think certain will be northerners, but they need to do it on behalf of a region. No, there is never a meeting for say now we don't see no we in a local now we do. And this make political parties, they have to be very careful. Where unemployment day in a country as high as this, under Tijan Kaba there is high youth unemployment, under Ernest Kroma there is high youth unemployment, under Mada Bio there is high youth unemployment. Political parties therefore frame solutions. So instead of, if you go around they say, no, local they get job, Timnine they get job, Mende they get job, Krione they get job. Instead of actually looking at the solutions and profiling solutions to unemployment, and say, "Una support me because me come this job where they create for Mendelian, for Lokode, for Team, everybody." So we lost that plot. And the more you preach that hate, that division, you give scope for violence entrepreneurs. The domain of politics should be really kept for elites. Elites then we don't carefully educated. Elites then we then get high moral standing. Now therefore debate over how they for govern the country. So when you watch. Okay, we can normally reference the US. In the US, watch the first black man with talk say this is our president. President Harvard Law Review. You watch in pedigree. Watch in first lady, whose school he goes to. Watch the first black woman when a vice president. Watch the background in parents then. So there are certain group of people and this advice they go for President Bill. There are certain groups of people even when they in certain leadership position, for hang heads with them again. Because there is a place for them, the place now for rehabilitate them, let them become good people and join society.
All right. Let's hear from our public as well, 79994993, and on some of the thoughts that they may have on some of the conversations we get here this morning on Looking Forward. Good morning. Johnny. Hello, Johnny. Yes, go on. Okay, Johnny, just hold on a bit. All right, okay, go on. All right. I think we struggle with the line a bit. We just want to make sure say Johnny voice go outside. We're getting him in the studio here. So let's just sort out the line. But Imran, about that point now, Andrew, you just be the make about looking forward and making sure that, of course, government is also committed, but also we look to as well, let not shrink the space of democracy in the exercise of doing this. We've seen a similar pattern in some other countries. In Turkey 2016, when they failed for overthrow Erdogan, it shrink the space, it purged the whole society really. So all eyes will also be on President Bio for not for go down that road.
Well, look, I think say President Bio, President Julius Maada Bio, you can't cite somebody else in terms of within that person they do in your own country and sort of think say it is
Experiences, situations, situations,
so,
then go change somebody.
So me point now this. We don't carefully make a distinction between the attempted coup on the 26th of November and within political dispensation. Yeah, there were recommendations in a dialogue. We last for 3 days, and for which President Bio don't indicate, and he don't do a number of things then for showing commitment. Over and above all that, look, President Bio not get any intention for shrinking any space. It is never going to happen under President Julius Maada Bio. Right? There are reasons. So now we don't hear some of the conversations that people and they talk say, well, about that death penalty, they say, well, why? I hope you understand. These are things we did. President Bio do show leadership on, for make sure so we open the space and people then feel part of and get the freedom, right, for be part of this democracy and criticize. And so therefore I think say Dan they go continue, right, for be President Bio in this position going forward. Right? There's a clear distinction in terms of President Bio in commitment to democracy, to peace, to stability, to national cohesion, but then also in commitment to the rule of law, right? Because waiting happened on 26th of November is a matter of law and order, making sure the one that we attempt waiting and do, no go ever do again, or nobody, right? Now this society no go ever sit down and feel encouraged again for cap and say, we want for me cool, because that is not true. It does not reflect who we are as Sierra Leoneans.
All right.
Neither make so. Because, I mean, several times this morning, Andrew don't say, had it not been the unwillingness of plenty Sierra Leoneans, right, this could have been different.
Okay.
But because Sierra Leoneans generally, right, get respect for democracy and feel say that should be the way going forward, now that make the reject with happy on the 26th of November.
Let's hear from more people here. Good morning. You're welcome.
This will happen in May 26.
Okay.
They never nothing for do with the military. They never nothing for do with the military. We say we arrested and don't arrest about 50 serving military officers and 5 retired. Then again, Adladi Bakwila Valley, they try to massage this situation. Because when I read on Facebook, I really rating and say President, Bio tell ECOWAS, saying that APC now is responsible for me to take over power, discipline and peace to make it govern. Now, Imran said he tried for massage small, because when he began this program last week, he not really sound this way. And again, let's talk one important thing. Certain people and they were enough to associate yourself with. I've been not talking about this program, and in fact, they're happy now. We look at President Bio and security detail. You get people that we're not supposed to them among that people. When they talk about security, even in America, we talk about the security of the important people. Secret service. Yeah, these are people. They stay there for living life for the president, and they make look back and check on even their family names.
All right.
But yeah, you get them leather boots, don't fret, then send and go. No work for go to any market canton security.
Thank you very much. Let's hear from more people as well. Your contributions to what we are having a conversation about 079 994 993. Good morning.
Speaker, good morning.
Alafi, welcome.
Thank you. For me, what I get for say is, I think Andrew is making a point, and it is very important that we try as best as possible to teach everybody we connected to this matter as individuals devoid of their political party. For me, waiting there individuals and they allegedly put their hand past, they don't do it on behalf of their political party. And again, as Sierra Leoneans also, we know for be seen, they say because then they interview this person, then don't call this other person, they don't call this other person. So now one great political party then the target. Let us give the police the chance and the space to conduct their investigations. Let's wait for the outcome. before we can make any conclusions.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. 79994993. Let's hear from more people here on this very important subject. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Jawad.
I'm Jack from Central. Welcome.
Thank you, my brother. I want to first and foremost thank the panelists, the two eloquent and sober-minded man they bring come. And Lula Valley and Imran. I want to say kudos to them for come. I listen to the Inspector General of Police. Wait, what you over for me? Fijian, then said they become dishonest to themselves based on the reputation of the country here. They attempt for dental. One thing, you don't be asked for bail, they don't interview you manage, they don't interrogate it. That's it brings to suspicion than a one. Two, I'm glad the manner in which the two panelists they put it in, say peace no get agree. But to be honest with you, what makes to mandate the point at APC, take from 2018 where President Bill can have power. So man from the prominent flag here, they talk about say if you don't win, they will make you ungovernable. So when you look at a layman view, it begins to lead them and
all right. Thank you
so
very much.
Yeah.
Let me hear from more people here. 079994993825 here from Studio Clock. Let's hear your thoughts. Good morning.
James from City.
Welcome, James.
You see, Sierra Leone, law give we opinions and law not disregard the facts. Opinion for go with facts. They're not for disregard the facts. The fact of the matter is the situation under investigation. The Syria lawyer, tell people, lawyer they get a funny, they get right for say anything under thing as lawyer. If you ask for bail, una left him. The only thing, the investigator they know their whereabouts, they know what for do. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me put through two more calls and then we can wrap up here with me guest them 0799949993. Let's go. Good morning.
Jawad.
Bumper.
Yes. Jawad, you see, we all know say the law say you innocent until they find you guilty. It's about alleged. But the suspicious at which we people in the dragon to no go good for we democracy. People in the major America, we see Donald Trump, insecurity them, we are facing. Some are don't left, but you know we see because you may work with Donald Trump, you will see, you will call up. And we get for very be careful, especially where we use we personalities them. Those nations we need for regard we self and work as a team. But if we they present one side, then they always try to look about the other side differently. How you feel say we all going to build up this democracy? Because it's about the blame game. And we all look and say by now we no need ECOMOP. What we need now for let team go come for can investigate what happened to what we militaries them.
All
because now the armor area down there. So if they look at the area, we go complicate with security them.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, one last call here, 0799949993. Let me hear from one last person here as we try to wrap up. Good morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Name I call you from?
Calling from Grafton, Ibrahim.
Ibrahim, you're welcome.
The only thing no more we dey talk to the government, just like we others they say, let them go about it seriously. Because sometimes NTR can create issue. You know, as government, when you start to investigate something, not to way you go relax on as time go on. Because we look at this tension, it starts from the inquiry. This whole tension we create around this government and from the inquiry. Just because they say justice delay is justice denied. Then create all this tension, take it.
Thank you very much.
Where they don't start this.
All right. For wrap up, and one of the important things that we don't come out of this year is the president was part of the ECOWAS meeting over the weekend, and one of the important resolutions that was passed was for the deployment of a standby force. Is that something we Salunga for be open to and say let's accept it?
Well, so I mean, you ask the question as if Sierra Leone and State Union will not be don't get any protocols and signatures to Boko regional or continental treaties that we don't call.
I know that.
We have always been part of ECOWAS. No. If I let people understand that for a start, number one. Number two, this arrangement for the deployment or standby force or what they call Denaya, naturally don't begin before the lifetime of this president. They'll be done to get in conversations then they long before now. It just don't so happen that President Bio is now president of the Republic of Sierra Leone. Within conversations, they are now there at an advanced stage.
Yeah, but this is really regarding what's happen now for create some stability.
They were always going to use here as a hub, right? Military hub. That was always on the cards. Then conversations and they don't begin from the previous administration. What we have done is to take it forward, number one. Number two, let also say this. There was a reason which we make when we get the new airport, the old one, right, was not been part of the consideration. Also, that ECOWAS go before use day, right, as part of the, which you could call standby force or something like that. I see nothing wrong for the Sierra Leone, which is a signatory to ECOWAS, ECOMOG, for which we don't play.
There's no question about the legitimacy of that particular move.
Absolutely.
It's the message we would send that the state is not in full control, that we need outside forces for stability.
So, for me, it sends a message of that we're part of a regional arrangement, for which we're forever committed to, for which before President Bio, other heads of state, then we don't make their signatures then there. And in part of the arrangements, then this Sierra Leone willing for play any part for make sure, say, the region remains safe, remains democratic, and that include Guyon, right? And I don't see anything wrong with that. I think Boku Sierra Leoneans will welcome, right, forces from the region, from the sub-region, Nayaso, and I think then go before play their own part in regional stability. I see nothing wrong in that.
And a lot of people agree with some of the points they make, and somebody very highlights as well the fact about background checks and people who should not be associated with security forces in this country. And that is something we have to go back and really look deep, because if we see now the phases of the one and we dominate the list, now serving personnel, then we all be really, really worried.
Oh, yes. So I think, before I will go back to this point, I think, Imran, again, for disagree with you a little bit. I think for let ECOMOG come 20 years after the war is an indication of declining fragility. So I think we need them. They are brothers. It's legit. But I think it's a bad signal. And it just show, and this is not just about President Bio, political actors. So it really show how far trust don't decline within the state. So now that make, in fact, this paper, one of the things we put, we say we know the affect Liberia, we know affect Guinea. So actually now trust among Sierra Leoneans now it don't decline. So yes, and back to that point, the way you watch the people and within this, and then they how do you call them? Then they're on the list of wanted within the military. If you watch, a lot of them get northern backgrounds. It's really interesting where you get, and then now what happen is, for example, you get Adebayo, you get people and within the out. Every day they talk. Look, this thing I know, they don't promote this person here, they don't promote that person, they don't do this. This is not the resentment, this way they feel.